If you're thinking about selling your home in the Philly area, you need to stop and watch this first because the market is changing fast. So, home prices are actually starting to shift. Buyers are getting way more selective. And if you don't have the right strategy, you could end up with price cuts, with fewer offers, and leave thousands of dollars on the table. The big question: should you sell now or should you wait? In this market update, this is going to be a live market update. I'm breaking down what's really happening in the Philly area real estate market right now. What are some of the biggest mistakes that sellers are making that's costing them thousands? Which areas are actually still hot and which ones are cooling off fast? How to price and market and negotiate to sell for top dollar in this market. And here's the kicker: there's one trend happening behind the scenes that could completely change the game for sellers in the next few months. And I'm going to reveal what it is and what it means for you. So stick around because you absolutely do not want to miss this one. Now, I'm going to be sharing my screen with you so you can see the slide presentation that I put together. I'm really excited for this one. So let's get into that right now. All right. So again, what is happening in the real estate? So what is happening in the Philadelphia area real estate market right now? I went over the agenda, but here it is again. The big question: should you sell now or should you wait? We're also going to look at key market statistics because this is really important. And this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy what I've been seeing because I have not seen this in years. Then we're going to look at the number one mistake sellers are making, how to sell fast for top dollar, right? Because that's always very important. And then what is coming next? The big question: should you sell now or should you wait? What is the right move for you? Are you in a position right now where you actually want slash need to sell? Some homes are actually flying off the market, right? Others, not really. So the question and the answer, and more so the answer, is very, very personal. So people don't just decide to sell their house like, yeah, you know what? I'm thinking now I'm going to sell my house. There is always some kind of motivating factor behind the decision to sell. Job relocation, your family's growing, you need more space. Unfortunately, parents get sick and you might live in a different state from them. So you want to be closer to them to take care of them. Your kid got into college and you absolutely do not want to be 3,000 miles away. That would be my position. But I have young kids, so I don't have to worry about that right now. Again, there's just always motivating factors behind why people are selling. Rarely ever is it like, you know what? I think I'm just going to list my house. That does not happen. Maybe like 1%, but rarely does that happen. There's always a motivating factor behind it. So, what I always tell people is don't let the market dictate whether you should sell now. You need to adjust to the market. Okay. That's the most important thing. Should you sell now or wait? That's a very difficult question for me to answer for you. You have to make that decision. It's completely up to you. Wait. Well, wait for what? What are you waiting for? It's very difficult to time the market. Very difficult to time the market, right? Buyer demand is still strong, but only for the right homes. Now, you might be asking yourself, Sean, what is the right home? The right home is a home that is move in ready, that doesn't require a ton of renovations. There's always going to be a small portion of the buyer pool that's interested in buying fixer uppers. A move in home or a move in ready home, that's what people are looking for right now. Hands down. That's what people are looking for. They want a property that fits their needs. Here's what's happening: buyers, it's psychological. They're thinking, I'm paying at the top of the market, right? I'm paying these crazy high prices, these crazy high interest rates. I want what I want, and I'm not going to just settle. So if your home to them feels like they're settling, that's not what buyers want. They are way more picky, they are way more choosy, and they're waiting for the right home. So your property, your home has to fit that need for the specific buyer, right? And we can talk a little bit more about that later. And then pricing mistakes are leading to longer days on markets and price drops. And here's the thing, especially in Philly proper, right? Because I'm talking about the Philly area. So we have Philadelphia, Bucks County, Montgomery County, Delaware County, and Chester County, right? Greater Philadelphia. That's what I'm talking about. The Philadelphia area. I'm not talking about Jersey. Jersey's not in greater Philadelphia area to me. I'm not worrying about Lancaster County, right? Because it's a different market, right? So our market, the Philadelphia area, is very, very unique, and you have to understand what's going on. But pricing mistakes are leading to longer days on market, and that's what people need to understand. I don't believe now is the absolute best time to try and push extremely high for a certain price point. Okay. I don't believe that is going to be a good path forward. You have to be very strategic when it comes to pricing. And we are absolutely going to talk about that. But the big question, right? Sell now or wait? Again, I cannot answer that for you. It's very personal. That's the decision you need to make. Once you make that decision, then you need to adjust your strategy to the market. Now, let's look at market statistics, right? Because this stuff is, I get it, it's kind of boring, right? But like, this is very important for you to know going into selling your home. What sellers need to know. And we're going to focus on four different things, okay? We're going to focus on home prices, we're going to focus on inventory levels, we're going to focus on days on market and the buyer demand, and we're going to focus on all five counties. Again, Philly, Philadelphia County, the city, Montgomery County, Chester County, Bucks County, Delaware County. Okay. This is what is happening in the markets right now. And this is based on data from January of 2025. Okay. So this is what's happening right now. In Philly proper, in this city, home prices are at 200. The median price is 249,400. That's actually down from last month. Okay. Very interesting. 5.1 months supply of inventory. You see MSI right there, the inventory levels, that stands for month supply of inventory. What does that mean? That simply means the amount of inventory that's available currently in the city of Philly would take roughly 5.1 months to sell. Here is what's very, very, very interesting. And this hasn't happened for some time. 5.1 months. That is entering a neutral market. So a seller's market is anywhere from 0 to 4, 4.5. Okay. That's a seller's market. The less month supply of inventory, the stronger the seller's market is. Right now in Philly, we're at 5.1 months supply of inventory. So we are in that neutral to buyer's market. A buyer's market is really 6 months plus. We're very close to that. So if you're in the Philly market and you're selling, you have to really, really, really be aggressive with your pricing, right? And I'm not talking about pricing it high. You have to be very smart and very strategic with what you're doing. Okay. This is wild. Days on market in Philly, 64 days on market. That is up from last year. 64 over 2 months. Average days on market. That is a long time compared to what we have been seeing. The buyer demand is neutral. Again, you could be on the market for an extended period of time and not get an offer. You could be on for 2 months and not get an offer. Okay. So this is really important to understand about Philly. Now let's look at Bucks County. Home prices, yeah, median sale price was $490,000, which is down from last year. Okay. Inventory levels, 2 months supply of inventory. So again, touching on what I've already talked about with month supply of inventory, that means that this is still a very strong seller's market. It's still strong. As you can see, the buyer demand is strong and the days on market is 40, which is actually up from what it was last year, right? So these indicators, you're thinking like, okay, well, the median sale price is down. There's not much inventory. Two months supply of inventory is not a lot at all. The days on market is up, but the buyer demand is still strong. But here's the thing with the buyer demand, they are picky, they are choosy, and it's going to be that way for the entire suburbs of the city, right? So we have 40 days on market, buyer demand is still strong. Montgomery County, this is very interesting. And this was the most staggering one that I've seen of all of the counties. The home prices, the median sale price, 435,500. That is down almost $15,000 from last month or from December in 2024. That's a lot. That is showing me, that is pointing to all signs that there is a shift happening. There is a shift happening. Inventory levels, 1.8 months supply of inventory. That's like almost nothing. Still a very strong seller's market. Still a strong seller's market. The days on market is up at 40. Buyer demand is still strong. It's still strong, right? It's still a very, very strong seller's market. But again, buyers picking and choosing what they want. Homes are sitting on the market for a lot longer because they are picking and choosing, because they understand that interest rates are still high, which is forcing it to be, not as competitive. Okay. But for the right home, that's going to be competitive and that's going to fly. Then we have Delaware County. Home prices, median sale price $320,000, which is down. 2.3 months supply of inventory, which is actually up, which is a good thing. 37 days on market, which is up from December. And then the buyer demand again is still strong. Okay. So, you know, these areas, again, you have to be very competitive. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have a strategy in place. You can't just wing it and throw your home on the market. And then here we go. Chester County, where I currently live, home prices are down in Chester County as well. $511,000 median sale price. Inventory levels, 2.2 months supply of inventory, which is up a little bit, which is good. The days on market is up 32. Again, buyer demand is still very strong. You have to understand when you live in these areas, right? When you live in the suburbs, in the 4 counties surrounding Philly, the school districts are extremely important. You know that, right? You bought here and now you're thinking about selling, but you understand how important the school districts are. Very, very important, right? So there's always school districts within these counties that are not as desirable. And generally, those are the properties that spend a little bit more time on the market. And the properties that are overpriced, they're the ones that spend a little bit more time on the market as well. So the very, very in-demand properties in the suburbs are the ones that are in the good school districts where people want to be. Okay. I shouldn't say good. I should say the more highly rated, right? So that's really important. But now let's get into the mistakes. The number one mistake that sellers are making right now is overpricing your home. That's it. That is the number one mistake. Sellers are just overpricing their homes. They're thinking in terms of, well, I could have gotten this price for it last year, but things are different now, right? Things are very, very different now. And you have to understand this moving forward. Buyers have more options and they don't feel the need to overpay. Whereas before, you're talking mid a little bit later in 2020 all the way up until July of 2022 when interest rates started going higher, higher, higher. They were overpaying even recently. I mean, come on, people are still overpaying for properties, right? I'm still seeing homes in Chester, Delaware, Montgomery County, Bucks County, Philly going for over asking price, right? People are still doing that, but buyers, they are having more options now, especially in the city. They have a lot more options than they did before, so they're not willing to overpay. Overpriced homes sit longer and they get fewer offers. That's like in every single market. This is the truth. Overpriced homes sit longer and they get fewer offers. You do not want to be that person that is overpricing their home. If you're in a certain suburb, right, in a certain community, and every home is very similar. You got a 2,500 square foot, 4 bed, 2.5 bath colonial, 2 car garage, right? Every other home is like that. If within the past 3 to 4 months, let's just say there's 10 comps, 10 properties have sold, right? And that's kind of a lot, but it happens in some areas. If the highest was 500,000 and let's just say the lowest was, 480, don't try and list your home at $550,000, right? The chances of someone seeing the value and paying $50,000 over the nearest comp are very small right now. Even in the markets, even in the certain areas where the inventory is really low. So this is the issue. And a lot of sellers are trying to do that. They're trying to price at 550 even though the nearest comp is 500. Do not do that. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and that is not a good strategy. And don't think like, oh, well, I can just reduce the price. Maybe I'll drop it to 540 and 530, right? You're going to chase the market down. When you chase the market down, it never works in your favor. Price drops equal red flags for buyers. They assume something is wrong. It's buyer psychology. You cannot change that buyer psychology. Once you have a home on the market where you drop the prices, generally people are thinking that it's way overpriced. I'm not paying for it. They're going to keep dropping it. Well, something must be wrong with it. I don't know. But a lot of times buyers don't think like it's the seller or the agent's fault. They're just like, there's something wrong with the house. I'm not interested. If there's something wrong with this house, I'm not interested. You're going to get less showings, which means less offers, and then you're just going to keep chasing the market down. That is not a solid strategy at all. But this is the number one mistake that sellers are making. They are overpricing their home, and this is causing properties to sit on the market for way too long and then chase the market down. So, how do you sell fast for top dollar, right? Because at the end of the day, that's generally what sellers want. That's generally what you want when you're selling your home, right? Yeah, you want to sell fast and you want to get the most amount of money for it. You also want to get the best terms for it. So, winning strategies are smart pricing. Get it right from the start. Again, this all has to do with you working with the right agent, right? Which hello, I'm an agent right here in the Philly area, and I can help you when you're ready to sell. But it's creating the right strategy, right? And it's smart pricing. And that has a lot to do with market knowledge, what is actually available. Now, I used to say this to people all the time. I still say it to them. You want to base your price off the sold comps, okay? Properties that have actually settled for that price. You can be in an area where every seller, all your neighbors, list it for 525 or 515 or 510, but they all ended up selling at 500. Why would you want to follow that strategy? Why would you want to list at 525 if they all tried to do that and ended up selling for 500? You want to be very smart about where you price it to start, because that could be the dagger for a lot of people to not want, I'm not going to look at that house. It's 525. The house 10 houses down is for 500. You also need to really pay attention to the active listings in the area that are similar, that are comparable, right? Because that's how you really base the listing sale price strategy. You want to base it off what is actually sold, but what's available now? How do you stand out about what's available now? That's always very, very, very important. And also, it's smart to look at what has expired. And you might not have heard this before because not a lot of agents say. If there's been a home or two homes that were listed and expired, there's a reason why they expired. There's some reason, especially if it's been on for 6 months or more and it expired, there's something going on there. That's not the strategy you want to follow. You don't want to follow the same strategy that the expired listing followed. First impressions matter, staging and professional photos. Uh, I can't stress this enough. Buyers make a psychological decision when they see the home for the first time. It's a very psychological decision. They see it, and it's either going to trigger in their brain, wow, this is really nice, and I can't wait to see the inside, or wow, this isn't that nice as it is in the pictures. right? Because pro photos, I mean, it's an absolute necessity. If you have an agent that's working for you and they're not paying for professional photography, you can't fire them fast enough, right? First impressions matter. The first place people see your home is online. They're going to see it on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on Trulia, on Homes.com, whatever they use, your agent's portal, whatever it is. And the photos need to be impeccable and tell the story of the house, right? Not be overinflated and show what the home doesn't look like. Staging is very, very important right now. And then curb appeal, right? That first impression when people drive up, right? Because they get that first impression when they see it online. They're like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. I want to go see this. And then you have another chance to really hook them when you show off the front of your home, the curb appeal, and how it actually feels, right? If you don't get that right, they are instantly going to be turned off. So you have two chances right now, and pretty much always two chances to really hook people in. Online first, and then when they pull up to your house. Okay, so you have to nail them. You have to nail them. Marketing power, more eyes on your home equals more offers. I mean, it's as simple as that. The more people that schedule showings, the more people that see your home, the more people are interested in your home, the more offers you get. The more offers you get, the more you can potentially sell it for over asking price and for the best possible terms. Marketing is very, very important right now. Gone are the days of just an agent putting the home on the MLS and hoping and praying that it will sell. Those days are gone. Your agent needs to be working for you every single day, every single week, making sure that your home is getting in front of the most amount of people online. That is what is very important. Now, look, the last one is seller concessions and how to use incentives wisely, right? I can make a whole video about this, and I absolutely will. This is very important. There are ways to hook buyers in with concessions, with incentives right now because the market has changed a lot. Commissions have changed a lot, and how they are paid to agents has changed a lot. There's so much flexibility right now with seller concessions and positioning them in a way that's very attractive to buyers that helps them essentially save a little bit of money when they buy your house, right? There's so many different things you can do. I can't get into all of them here, but I'll definitely make a follow-up video about that. And also, if you have questions about what kind of seller concessions, what kind of incentives can I use, just reach out. If you ever want to reach out to me, just click the link in the description and schedule a time with me and jump on the calendar and we'll go over everything with you. Moving on. What's next? These are my predictions for the rest of 2025. Will home prices rise or fall? I think we are getting to a point where we're hitting almost the peak. I think in Philly, in the city, we've gotten there, right? We've hit that peak. It doesn't mean that it won't go up in 6 months, but right now we're at that peak. The data shows right now we're at that peak. Um, I've been saying this from the beginning of this year. I've been saying this from towards the end of last year. I think more of the same, especially for the counties, for the suburbs. We're going to be seeing more of the same, where prices will incrementally rise over the course of the year. I think interest rates will incrementally decline over the course of the rest of this year. And I think that, again, when it comes to timing, the timing has to be right for you. That is all that really matters because once you make that decision, I'm going to be selling my house, then you can figure out the strategy moving forward. Then you can figure out, okay, I have figured, I've talked with your significant other, your mom, your dad, whoever it is that you're making decisions with. Once you figured out, okay, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to move eventually. So I need to sell my house here now. Once you figure that out, then you can adjust to the market. Then you can adjust to the market. Then you can start to plan and figure out, okay, is this going to be the right time for me or not? Right? Don't worry about what is happening in the market. Okay. If you're in that mindset where you're like, "Oh my gosh, I should have sold my home a year ago because I would have made more." You can't time the market. It's so difficult to do. You have to make that decision to yourself within your heart that this is what I need to do for me, for my family, for whoever moving forward. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, make sure that you reach out. Look forward to speaking with you soon and stay tuned for more information all about selling your home in the Philadelphia area. Talk to you soon and have an awesome day.